Hello bachcho, let's see the question. So the question is saying if z satisfies the inequality z minus 1 minus 2i, modulus of this should be less than equals to 1. Then these are the options. We have to check that which options will be correct. And in options we have to find maximum and minimum argument of z, then maximum and minimum modulus of z. So these four things we have to check, and then we have to find which is correct and which is incorrect. Okay, so here we have only this inequality. We will use this. Before this we should also know that what are the key concepts used in these questions. Okay, so the very first key concept is complex number. We are using complex number like z in the form of x plus iy, we know, and z on coordinate axis. Then we will be having idea of trigonometry and its inverse as well. ठीक है, ट्रिग्नोमेट्री एंड उसकी इन्वर्स की भी आइडिया होनी चाहिए. लाइक tan इनवर्स ऑफ 1 अगर मैं पूछूं तो वी शुड नो दैट इट इज पाई बाई 4 इन जनरल. ठीक है, एंड सम फॉर्मूलाज लाइक sin 2 थीटा is 2 sin theta cos theta, इस टाइप से. Then we should also know about circle and its properties. Circle and properties. Okay, and coordinate systems. So these are some basic key concepts which is required to solve these questions. Now here let's start solving this question. So we are given with z minus 1 minus 2i less than equals to 1 will be the modulus of that value. So we will do little of rearrangement. हम थोड़ा सा इसे rearrange करते हैं. So इसे ऐसा लिख सकते हैं, राइट. माइनस कॉमन ले लिया मैंने और लिख दिया 1 plus 2i. Now it is representing a equation of circle, right. जब इस फॉर्म में कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर को हम लिखते हैं, so we know that it is the equation of circle. ये एक सर्कल को रिप्रेजेंट कर रहा है जिसकी सेंटर क्या होगी, ये वाली जो पॉइंट्स है इसकी, ये वाली जो नंबर है z की, दूसरी नंबर जो है कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर, इसकी जो कोऑर्डिनेट्स है एक्स वाई, यही हमारी सेंटर होती है सर्कल की, राइट. बिकॉज इट इज सिंपली अ डिस्टेंस फॉर्मूला. जब हम z माइनस 1 प्लस 2i कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर की मैग्नीट्यूड निकालेंगे, so it will be looking like a distance formula, and that distance should be always less than equals to 1. So it is basically saying that locus of point z क्या है, z is locus of point whose distance is, it will be points, many points, right. Locus of points whose distance from 1 plus 2i, ये जो कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर है, इससे is always less than equals to 1. Okay, less than equals to 1 होगी. So this way this circle will be making. Now let's try to understand this circle on coordinate system in a little better manner. Okay, तो मैं आपके लिए coordinate system बनाता हूँ. Just give me a time. So here is our axis, first axis, and इसे थोड़ा bold करते हैं. Then we'll be having next axis. Okay, so xy axis बन गई हमारी, इसे भी थोड़ा bold कर लेते हैं. Now let's make the circle. Okay, so here is the circle. It will be like this, and in this circle we know the center points of this circle will be what? It will be 1 plus 2i, right. So we will write that center point as well for this circle. So यहाँ पर कहीं होगी उसकी center, and this is C. मैं यहाँ पर coordinates लिख रहा हूँ साइड में so that it will be clear. Center point will be 1 comma 2 because it is coming from 1 plus 2i complex number, okay, from our equation. So this is C. and this is x-axis, this is y-axis, or you can say real and imaginary axis. Now we will check for the values of z and argument of z. So before that we should also little bit know about these. Z is what? Z are all those points which are inside this circle and at the periphery of this circle. वो सारे points जो इस circle के periphery पे और या इसके अंदर है, that is Z, because these are what? These are satisfying that inequality equation. Okay, so that is why we have made a circle like this. Now we will draw one thing. We will draw a line from origin passing through its center. Okay, line from origin passing through its center. Now we can see that here this line is there, and if you will see, this is origin. So the z which will be here will be very nearest or closest to the origin, right? And z which is at here, at this point, this z, let's say it's a z dash, so this z will be maximum because it is having a maximum distance from our origin, right? So with this we can understand that this one is the maximum z and this one is the minimum. Now we have to find the magnitude of this minimum and maximum z. So for that I will try to make more construction here in our graph. So this one will be the points, right? This one will be the point here like this, and this one perpendicular from center to x-axis. Now let's see that this distance is 1, right? Because the coordinate is 1, 2. So this distance is 1 and this distance is 2. So what will be the distance of OC? OC will be what? 2 square plus 1 square and root of it, right? So it will be root under 5. This is the distance of OC, but we want to find the minimum Z. So that is from O to this point only. Here let's make it a point A and this as point B. Okay, so if I want to find minimum of Z modulus or magnitude of Z which is minimum, so that will be what? That will be OC minus OA. Okay, sorry, OC minus AC, right? OC minus AC, because we want to know this particular thing, OA. We want to find OA, and OA is OC minus AC. So OC we have found root 5, and O and AC is basically the radius of our circle, which is 1. So root 5 minus 1 will be the minimum of Z modulus. Okay, so just make a note of it here that minimum of modulus of Z will be root 5 minus 1. Okay, now again come to our graph. So here this particular B point is farthest from the origin, so it will be the maximum of Z. This one will be having the maximum magnitude in Z, right? So if you'll find this OB, that will be the maximum magnitude, right? So let's find maximum magnitude of Z is OB length, and OB is OC plus CB. If we will check from graph here, from O to C, then from C to B, if we will add this distance, we will get OB. So O to C we have already found, it's root 5, and CB is the radius of that circle, which is again root 5 plus 1 we are getting. Okay, so this way we have found that minimum modulus of Z is root 5 minus 1, maximum modulus of Z is root 5 plus 1. Okay, now check the arguments. Argument of Z, minimum and maximum. So here argument is basically the angle, right, from the origin. So before moving, we will just make one more construction here. Let's say this angle is alpha. Okay, and now we know that what can be the maximum argument of z. The z which can lie here, suppose here, which is touching to this y axis. Okay, this z. So this z will be having the maximum argument because it is just on the real axis. So this theta will be pi by 2, right? The angle for this z will be pi by 2. If you make angle, so this one will be the complete angle, right? So this will be pi by 2. So we can write that maximum argument of z will be pi by 2. Simply we can say this because this z is touching this y axis and this will be having the maximum argument. Now let's find the minimum argument. For that we have to take the line which will be a tangent to this circle. Okay, a tangent to this circle, and this one will be having the minimum argument. Why minimum argument? Because see, this particular z which is touching this tangent, that will be having a point here, right? So whatever the points will be around in the circle accepting this particular z, okay, so that will be having this angle more, right? The angle from origin, if you'll find, that will be more. So that is why this one will be having the minimum argument. Okay, this particular z will be having minimum argument. So we have to find this theta, that tan theta will be the minimum argument. Okay, so how we can find it? Let's see. We have already assumed this one as a alpha. Now you can see that if I will take, let's say this point is t and this point is s. Okay, this point is s. The minimum argument point and the maximum argument point are s and t. So here this o, t and os are tangent to circle, right? Tangent to circle, and they are from same point. So obviously this angle and this angle will be all same, alpha alpha. From the properties of circle we can find it that these two angles will be same. So what will be theta? Theta will be simply pi by 2 complete angle minus 2 theta, sorry, 2 alpha. Okay, so pi by 2 minus 2 alpha will be the theta, which is the minimum argument. Okay, for that minimum argument this one will be the angle. Now let's find the alpha. So here from the figure we can see that this length is 2 and this is 1. So we can find this alpha angle with the help of tan theta, right? So here tan theta will be, sorry, tan alpha will be what? P by B. Okay, so in that equation we can find that this is the perpendicular, in the figure this is the perpendicular. So this one is P and 2 is base. So 1 by 2 will be the tan alpha, right? Now in this we can use this alpha value, tan alpha value, to get the argument. So we know argument of z will be tan of theta. I am calculating it for minimum arguments. Okay, minimum, we have already found this maximum. So for minimum argument it will be tan theta. So what is theta? Theta is tan of pi by 2 minus alpha. Now from the concept of trigonometry we can tell that tan theta is pi by 2 minus 2 alpha. So it will be basically a cot 2 alpha. Okay, and we can write cot 2 alpha as tan 2 alpha. Now tan 2 alpha we can again simplify it. So it will be 2 tan alpha. Then in the numerator it will come 1 minus tan square alpha. We can rearrange it and we will get 1 minus tan square alpha by 2 tan alpha. Now we will put the tan alpha value. So it is 1 minus 2 whole square. Then here 2 into 1 by 2. So after simplification, we will get tan theta is equals to here 3 by 4. So theta will be tan inverse of 3 by 4. This one is the argument. Okay. Now let's come to our options. So here we can see that minimum argument of z is tan inverse 3 by 4, and what we have got, we have also got the same thing. For minimum we are getting tan inverse 3 by 4, right? We were finding the minimum argument with the tan theta. So here theta is the minimum argument. So we can write it here. Minimum argument of z is tan inverse 3 by 4. And similarly, the maximum argument is here pi by 2. Okay. And we have already found this maximum and minimum magnitude of the z, which is root 5 minus 1 and root 5 plus 1. So with this we can check with our options that all the options are correct, right? Hence A, B, C, D are correct options. Okay, all the options are correct. A, B, C, D are correct options. Okay बच्चों, thank you.